Come da porta picchita va bene, se tu la parla miezza americano, quando si fa l'amore sotto la luna, come da bene in capo di I love you, papà l'americano.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In my last cooking video, I decided to explore my husband's heritage, which was the Caribbean side. We made Caribbean doubles. I'll post a link here if you guys would like to check that out. So today I thought we would travel to the other side of the world and do some Italian cooking, which is my background and heritage. So today we're going to be making Italian arancini, which is basically an Italian rice ball, and we're going to do it the way that our mom taught us how to do it. And I'm gonna break it down in all the simple steps so that you can make it at home. You're gonna need a lot of pots and pans to make this dish. So I'm gonna get ready, a medium-sized pot for boiling the rice. I'm gonna need a large pot so I can make a big batch of Italian sauce. I'm totally okay if there's leftover. I'm gonna need some type of shallow but large and long dish that the rice can cool in, and we want it to be as spread out as possible so it can cool down even faster. And like I said, the deep fryer. One of the home appliances that can really make your life easier during making arancini would be if you have a deep fryer. If you don't have a deep fryer, you can absolutely do a healthier choice, which is to bake them, or you can just do deep frying in a pan on your stove. But I have a deep fryer, so that's what I'm going to be using. And just to show you a quick tip, so I used my deep fryer last when we made doubles, and what I do is I pack it away and I write down when I last used the oil that's still left over in the deep fryer and the fact that I used it with no meat. So because I used this oil last time to make doubles and there was no meat and it wasn't too long ago, I'm actually going to reuse the same oil from a couple weeks ago when I made doubles. So when I packed away my deep fryer from the last time, you'll see that I put just some cellophane wrap around it and I kept my oil inside, and I just noted the last time that I used the oil so I can make sure it's not spoiling, and the fact that I didn't use it with any meat, so I know it would be safe to keep in that case. So now my deep fryer is ready to go for my next deep fried dish. So we're gonna get the rice going first. We have 2 bags of the UNICO Italian style rice, and because we're making 2 full bags, we're going to use a bigger stock pot than actually I brought out. And the way that we do it is by putting the rice in first and then adding the adequate amount of water. How much water do we go, like double?
I usually go so it's sitting about an inch over top.
Okay, so 1 inch of water over top of where the rice sits. I'm gonna put the big pot of rice to boil, and I'm gonna cover it. It's on high. So once your rice comes to a complete boil, then you can take it completely off the heat, take the lid off, and let the rice just soak up all the water. So you see with the lid on, it's steaming and the rice is multiplying. So while the rice is trying to boil, we're gonna start a meat sauce. First thing we're gonna add to our hot pot is is it extra lean or lean? Does it matter? It doesn't really matter. Whatever you want. Meat, ground beef.
So I'm not doing this in the right process. You really shouldn't do it.
We're putting olive oil in the pot first and then adding the meat and breaking it up using a wooden spoon. So now we're adding crushed garlic. Squeeze really hard. Lots of crushed garlic. Looks like we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 of them that we're adding to the ground beef as it's cooking. Beautiful. So literally the rice just keeps on steaming in its own water.
And the longer you leave it shut, the better.
Okay, we'll keep it shut, keep the heat in there. The ground beef is coming along. In the meantime, we've opened up our cans of tomatoes into a big stainless steel bowl, and we're gonna immerse them a little bit to break them up. So we're just gonna partially break up the tomatoes, not like fully, because we want it to be a chunky sauce. You can use the immersion blender, or mom would say just use your hands to kind of mush it up. our meat's cooked now, so we're gonna add the sauce. We're adding the canned tomatoes that are still somewhat chunky, which is great, into the ground beef that's now mostly cooked. Sarsa. Connie make a sarsa, a sarsa. Connie make a sarsa with Danny's help. Okay. Anything else we need to know at this point?
No,
just let it cook together and get the juices. Should we cover it or uncover it?
I'm not
We're gonna add a little garlic while we're here. More garlic. Can't have too much garlic. Don't be cheap with the garlic. Add seasoning now. Salt. I have pink Himalayan salt in my house, so we're using that, but whatever. Mom wouldn't use pink salt. She would use normal white salt. Lots of black pepper. Chili flakes with a little bit of spice.
You could.
Here. Chili flakes. Where are my chili flakes? Chili flakes. Where are you? Oh, right there. Yeah, there's my chili flakes. So you can make it a little bit picante by adding chili flakes. Anything else you wanted to add? That's it.
And then add the peas later.
And we'll add the peas afterwards. Mom would have added basil.
Do you have basil? I didn't get basil.
I have to check. Let me see. Sauce is doing a nice, delicate simmer boil. Now that it's been seasoned, we've got the tomatoes in there, we've got the ground beef, so we're just gonna let it stay like this. Stir it every once in a while. It's too high. Lower it a little bit maybe. So it's a slower boil, a simmer. All right, so the sauce is doing good and we're starting to smell it. So now we're gonna add, we use frozen peas.
There's no such thing as fresh.
No such thing as fresh. Frozen peas to the sauce. Are we gonna use like a quarter of one of those small bags?
Let me see. Should I mix it in first?
This is the very Sicilian part of this, which is adding peas.
I think it could use a bit more.
Sicilians, which is from southern Italy, they add peas to their sauce. It makes it a little sweeter.
And sugar.
Oh, and sugary, yeah, sweeter and sugary without adding sugar. So there we go. That's your Sicilian meat sauce there, which we're gonna continue to cook a little longer. Okay, so our rice has now completely absorbed all the water, and you'll see that if you kind of scrape through it, it's kind of sticky, and that's what you want. That's Italian rice right there. It's a more sticky consistency. So we know that the rice is now ready. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna prepare it to cool, because we need the rice to be completely cooled off in order to actually handle it and hold it and make the rice balls. Transfer the rice into like a very long but still deep dish so that it can be spread out to really get cooled down nicely. There's a lot of steam in there. Large turkey roasting pot. So that's what 2 bags made. So we've completely spread out the rice and we're gonna let it cool down completely. We're gonna add some sauce to the rice to give it some flavor and to help with the stickiness. And we're grabbing literally just like the top juicy part of the sauce. We're not gonna try to get much of the meat. We're gonna get just the juicy part and add a bunch of scoops to the rice mixture so that we can mix it together. I'm gonna mix that all together just to give that rice some color and some flavoring.
Get the cheese.
And we're gonna add the Parmesan now. All right, so we got our nice saucy rice and we're going to add a lot. And my mom would be so proud that we're using Gran Padina Parmesan. And we're gonna do it as Mom would do it, which is to use our hands and don't be cheap. Don't be cheap with the Parmesan.
This is what soaks it up.
Add lots of cheese to the rice mixture. Stir it all around, get that cheese in there. See how sticky and stiff it is? That's the perfect texture. You need that.
I don't know how to cook your rice.
Very good. In Canada and it's freezing outside, you can actually put the rice mixture outside to cool down, because once again we're trying to get it cold so that we can handle it with our hands, and by putting it outside in the winter that'll happen a lot faster. We'll go in and stir it every once in a while, and if it's not cold outside then you can just leave it on your counter for a while until it completely cools to touch. Time meantime, I've also started to heat my oil in my deep fryer, so that's gonna start heating. It'll take a while. And we're also gonna get a smaller bowl of sauce out, just so that that can start cooling and so that we can handle that sauce. So now that our rice has been completely cooled outside, we've made stations. So we have our rice, we have the sauce, we've got cubed up mozzarella cheese, and we got our breadcrumbs, and so now we can start assembling. Okay, so the next step is you're gonna take some rice in your hand, and you're gonna form the bottom part of the sphere and make it like a little cup, because then you're gonna add a chunk of mozzarella, a scoop of your thicker sauce mixture with the meat and the peas. Don't be cheap on the filling. And then you're going to finish your sphere top. This is all handwork. You're going to press it all nicely together to make the perfect, nice, big ball. And that's a perfect ball. Some people make the arancini into like more of like a cone shape at the top. We don't do that. We make ours round.
And big.
And big. We like our balls round and big and not cone-headed. And then we're gonna cover it in breadcrumbs. And then we're going to place it in our finishing pan ready for frying. Okay, let's do another one to show. So you're basically using your hand as a guide for the size. You can also make teeny tiny ones for like babies, which we'll do, or even like appetizer versions. Lots of sauce, cheese. Other half of the sphere. Pressing it all together nicely. Squeezing it so it stays shut. And coating it lightly with breadcrumbs. Okay, and we're gonna continue this process till we use up all of our ingredients. I'm gonna deep fry these, so I have a really large deep fryer with a large basket, so you're gonna have to judge with your deep fryer, or if you're doing it in a pot, how many you can do at a time. This one can do like 5 big ones. I'm gonna do 4 big ones, and we've got 2 little ones. And then we're gonna bring it over to the deep fryer. And we're going to slowly set it in. And we're going to let it deep fry until they come out looking like this. So pretty good darkness. You can lift them and check on them. See, they're already like light colored. Give them another few seconds and then we can pull them out. Deep frying alone, this is what it'll look like in the middle of your arancini, and you'll see that the block of mozzarella is not 100% melted. So what you can do after this step of deep frying is you can actually put them in the oven a little bit to help melt that cheese a bit more if you want it completely melted. Have some, Chia. Do yummy. Yay, Gia. How is it? Is it yummy? That's so yummy.